All right, good morning, folks. It is a winter morning here down in the deep south, and today I am going to be exploring some personally uncharted waters, some uncharted territory via my feet, my kayak, as well as these two rods right here. So I cannot be more stoked to go on this mission right now. I am currently in my last week at Alabama for the fall semester. Got some finals next week, but this weekend not much is going on. Football team just clinched the playoffs. That starts next week. So this weekend I'm taking advantage of a pretty free schedule after just slamming exams all last week, and I'm gonna be slamming exams all next week, and taking a brief intermission to hopefully slam some fish instead. So with that being said, folks, it's 10:30 in the morning right now. We've been on the road for about 4 hours, driving pretty dry with not much sleep in the system, just a whole lot of stoke. And
in 2 miles, take exit 261 toward Lakeshore Oak Harbor.
We got about 1 hour till we're at the spot, but first we got to make a stop down here in Louisiana, check out one of the local tackle shops, and replenish our tackle bag with some fresh lures that are hopefully going to get us bit this weekend. All right, so our first stop of this deep south Louisiana send is kind of off to a productive start. Just stopped by this little gas station tackle shop and picked up a couple little local lures that I think could be beneficial to me fishing down here on the bayou. But I'm just kind of overwhelmed with this whole experience already. This is so different than fishing up in Jersey, fishing up in the Northeast, and even down in Florida and the Gulf Shores where I fished before. Louisiana really is its own beast, and I haven't even set foot on the marshland or drop the kayak in the water yet. So with that being said, folks, it is already noon right now. It was a long drive to get down here. As you can see, I am pretty freaking tired. So let's take a drive down the Delta, get the kayak wet, hopefully get some fish before that sun sets today. You?
Continue on Louisiana 46 East for
Well, that right there, folks, would be the end of the road. So I kind of just been driving down this road here for about 30 miles. So I stopped at that tackle shop, and this is literally the end of at least, I believe I'm on the eastern side of the Delta, at least this branch that you can get down to. So I'm down here in Hopedale right now, which is where I was going to do a little bit of kayak fishing. But just judging by how much time I have left in the day, I think I might do some bank fishing or some wade fishing instead. Right now, I guess I'm gonna kind of turn back around a little bit. I lost service about 15 minutes ago, and there's really just not much out here. I did see some pretty fishy looking riverbank on the other side of the bridge that I crossed, so I think I'm gonna drive back to that bridge, see if I can't scope out anything, maybe on Google Maps or whatnot, but this is definitely something very new for me down here. But that being said, it does look incredibly fishy down here, and I am just tingling, ready to get on the water and make some casts and hopefully get tight some point today. But for now, we gotta find some place to fish because this dead end road is just not gonna do it for us. All right, folks, finally found a small piece of real estate to pull over and make some casts at here. So after popping a U-turn at that dead end there, I kind of browsed Google Maps a little bit, flew the drone around, just looking at the marsh, see if there's any access I could get out, any really fishy looking tributaries, and I could just not find much. There's just so much marshland out here, and some of it does not look very fishable. Grass maybe 6 to 8 feet high, pretty tough to fish, not to mention there are canals and little creeks running all over the place. So found this small little shoulder here by this bridge that I drove by earlier. And well, I'm not sure if there's any fish in here, but might as well give it a couple casts, see if you can't get some fish. So I'm gonna start off by throwing around this little voodoo shrimp right here, and just gonna kind of work the bottom. And in terms of our setup here, we're fishing a Pisky Fun 2000 size of Lumex on a 7'6" St. Croix Tidemaster inshore medium action. And do want to give a huge shout out to Pisky Fun for sponsoring this video and this whole excursion down here, but more on that later. There's a big old blue claw too. All right, definitely at least brackish here. Don't think we're gonna run into any largemouth bass. Seeing that monster blue claw, that thing is just gargantuan. One of the biggest I've ever seen. All right, so not feeling very confident here at this spot. Really not seeing a lot of life, and I know there's so much water here to cover on the Delta. We can definitely make an effort and find some stuff that looks a little bit more fishy. So back to the truck we go. All right, this spot right here looks actually pretty cool. Got ourselves a little spillway here just as I'm driving away. That little shoulder's a couple hundred yards down. So some extra current here, some structure. Definitely gonna be some fish hanging around the mouth of this guy. Oh, I saw some mullet right there. Oh, there's fish right there. Oh my God, dude. Can't believe I messed that up. Oh, we just had a fish right there. Looked like a little redfish. Just got out on one of these sewer pipes here and got smoked. Definitely some life hanging around these guys. Let's get back in the truck. Keep our eyes peeled for any more spillways that might look like this, because good to know they hold fish.
In a cozy little restaurant.
All right, make another big move here in the truck. It is late afternoon right now. 3 o'clock, sunset is in just an hour and a half, and we're currently headed down south onto another finger of the Louisiana Delta here. But that major structure that I just went underneath right there, I have only heard about before on the news, in books, articles, and whatnot. But that is a levee that protects the entire city of New Orleans from the floodwaters, and I honestly have never seen a structure so cool. They're basically just giant concrete walls that I guess circle the entire city, or at least a semicircle, and block it from the Gulf of Mexico and the river when it floods. And those things are gargantuan. There's massive floodgates that go right over the road that are currently down. There's no major flood going on, obviously, but they are, I've got to be at least 10, 12 feet tall. Absolutely gargantuan structures. And I'm just so fascinated just driving around down here and observing just a very unique state. I did not think Louisiana was that special, but this is definitely one of the coolest places I've ever been, and we really haven't seen that much yet, and haven't caught a fish yet either. Hey man, I'm up around here. What do y'all catch down here?
Redfish, black drum, croaker.
Really?
A little anything. You might catch a bull shark out of here.
That'd be sick, man. Any luck yet today?
No, not today. Last Saturday I caught a 28-inch redfish.
Oh wow, just what, fishing shrimp or?
Oh yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you. Have a good one. Good luck.
You too, man. Yes, sir.
Man, I just love this place. People down here are so incredibly kind, and this is one of the fishiest places I've ever been. Every couple hundred feet, seemingly, there's someone fishing along the road right here. There's a shrimp boat or another truck passing by, a trailer and a flats boat, with a whole bunch of rods on the back. This is one of the coolest places I have ever been, and I am just in awe right now. This is awesome. Can I get a 15-piece speckled trout? And I'll take 2 reds with that too. Yeah, that'll be all. Thanks. All right, I am feeling incredibly more confident about fishing at this spot right here. This looks so incredibly juicy, and I just drove maybe 3-5 miles past a whole bunch of really fishy looking water. Talked to one local who said he caught a 28-inch redfish out of this very little canal. If I can catch anything in the next little hour and a half here before it gets pitch black out, I'll be stoked. Shout out to the Yipper dog somewhere in the bayou back there, but this place is incredible. All right, we're gonna start off throwing around this 4-inch Z-Man diesel minnow on a 1/4 ounce jig head. See if a little soft plastic can't get us bit. We're fishing. Got a lot of water to cover, a lot of exploration to do. See if we can't get tight. Nah, one little hit. I'm gonna keep on walking.
A lot of catfish.
A lot of catfish? Oh man.
What you after? You after a specific one?
Anything honestly. Ideally reds or trout. That's the plan.
Man, you in red paradise.
Oh really?
Yeah. You get you. If you take your P-rod, you come down my launch right here.
Mm-hmm.
You come out this canal.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I could do that. I don't know. I might get a couple more casts and then drop the kayak in.
Shit. That's the job to do, man. Look. Is that where you're from, Jersey?
Yeah.
That's a far ride.
I go to Bama though, so I'm here for the weekend.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's
Yeah.
we don't play this weekend, so I was like, all right, I'll go catch some fish. Ideally, it's my first time down here. I fish like New Jersey, the Northeast, Florida, Gulf Shores a little bit, but
so
it's cool down here.
That's cool. That's cool, man. You got your passion for it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
especially going to Alabama, man. There's a lot of other things you could be
Yeah,
doing.
that's for sure. That's for sure.
My friend's daughter's there, right? Tomorrow, too.
I'll be here tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow, too. Yeah, you're going to hammer and get up early.
Yes, I might. Maybe I'll drop the kayak in tomorrow then and just fish off the land right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I need a break, you say.
Isn't that saltwater?
It's brackish, yeah.
That's funny.
It's salty, too. It is. But like the beagles are tough, man.
Yeah. That's awesome. Where are the fish at, buddy?
Yeah.
All right, folks, just got off the water. Figured I'd stop in, grab a quick bite to eat. Let's stop by some local spot on the way out from where I was fishing at. And well, let's order a fried shrimp po' boy. Got ourselves a bunch of cold fresh shrimp right here. And I'm stoked to try some local Louisiana cuisine and just dive into this po' boy and these shrimp. Seasoning on these shrimp is just surreal. I've never had seasoning like this. I eat a lot of cocktail shrimp up in Jersey and whatnot, but these lemony, buttery, it's got a very unique flavor that's just out of this world. Oh yeah. All right, she kind of fell apart on me a little bit, but there's our fried shrimp po' boy. Po' boy is a classic sandwich down here in Louisiana. It's pretty much just fried shrimp, got some lettuce on there, some special dressing, tomato, all on a white roll, and I already snuck a little bit of bite before the camera. That is just out of this world. And definitely a great deal too. Not bad at all. $20 for all this food. Cool place. I absolutely love to eat at hyper-local places like that, so I figured I definitely needed a bite to eat after all of today's traveling, fishing, despite a lack of fish, and just popped in Google Maps real quick, looked up seafood restaurants around me, and once I saw that image of that little hole in the wall, I made sure I had to go to that spot, try their po' boy, and that was honestly some of the best shrimp I've ever had. So we were headed to our next destination where we are going to wake up and fish tomorrow. So we got about an hour and a half drive down to the southeasternmost point in Louisiana, all the way down in Venice. Feeling way more confident tomorrow about our fishing plans. That being said, let's get back on the road to our quarters for the evening.
Ain't gonna cry no more for you.
Now I see you smile when you feel low.
All right, and we made it home safe. So good night. We got a big day tomorrow. I'll catch you in the morning. Good morning, folks. It is day 2 of our send down here in Louisiana Delta. Yesterday was majorly just an exploratory day. Try to find some fishing spots, really just scope out the Big Easy, my first time being down this far south and my first time being in Louisiana. Today's mission, though, is to catch some fish, put some fish in the yak, and put some fish in the cooler. So let's get out in the water. It's a beautiful sunrise. There's some fish to be caught today. Oh, good sign this morning too. There's a bunch of fish carcasses littered all around here. All right, first things first, let's get this kayak out in the water. All right, finally we're on the water down here on the Mississippi River Delta. So down here in Louisiana, there is just so much water to cover, so many different spots to explore. I have just been losing my mind trying to find a spot to launch my kayak and fish just because everything looks so good. But after some internet sleuthing around, this spot right here appears to be a pretty good spot, as there is a deeper water bay right there. There's plenty of structure all around, some marsh islands. There's also plenty more marsh and actually a channel back down that way. So that's the real estate we're going to be fishing today. As far as species are concerned, our two main targets today are going to be speckled trout and redfish. You can also catch a whole bunch of other fish down here: black drum, flounder, could run into some catfish, could run into sheep's head. Where I'm fishing right now is primarily a saltwater spot, but all of this down here is brackish water, and the farther up you go up the Mississippi River Delta, the more fresh it gets. And you can run into some largemouth bass, crappies, any of those species there. But so game plan for today is just bounce around a bunch of different spots. There's actually a little bit of marsh islands right there in front of me, which is where I'm going to start fishing today. And then I'm going to start sliding a little bit more north and work this marsh bank here, just throwing around a variety of artificials, just seeing what'll get us bit. So let's get up on this marsh over here and well, see if there's any fish hanging around at our first little stop of the day. All right, and the first bait we're gonna start off throwing today is this little 4-inch Z-Man diesel minnow on a 1/4 ounce jig head. And this is the setup we were throwing around yesterday while trying to catch some fish off the banks, and unfortunately did not have that much luck. But Venice, Louisiana, down here, this delta is a kayak fisherman's paradise. Just so much structure that's easily accessible. And well, let's give it a first cast right up here on this Marsh Island. All right, so no love here at the first stop of the day. Got a lot of water to cover, so back on the move. All right, next little spot right here, we got a whole bunch of these white PVC markers. I believe this means there's an oyster bed around here, which means should be perfect habitat for some redfish, trout, any of the inshore species I named earlier. There we go. First cast. First cast, baby. Nice fish too. Big fish, dude. Oh, first cast. First cast. That is a nice fish on a little paddle tail. Big fish. What could this possibly be? Gotta make sure it doesn't get me on the oysters. Oh yeah, beautiful fish. Oh, first cast. Could not have called that any better. Is that a big black drum? Oh boy. First cast. That is a beaut of a fish right there. Come on, buddy. I can't tell what this is. I think it's a big black drum. Just cannot stop this guy. He's taking me on a Cajun sleigh ride down here. Whatever that is ginormous. Dinosaur right here. Oh, he is humbling this rod right now. Oh yeah, big black drum. Big black drum. Oh my God, we're gonna need a bigger net. We are gonna need a bigger net for sure. Oh my God. Jumbo drum right there. Look at that. Unreal. I guess we got him. Somehow fit that beast in the net. Oh my gosh. Unreal. What a surreal first catch of the day. Whoa. Whew. Come on in here, shawty. Yeah, baby. Unreal. On the 1/4 ounce little jig. Boom, baby. On the tiny little Z-Man right there. That is a beautiful drum, probably 15, maybe 20 pounds. Big drum. We could probably not land a fish any bigger than this in this yak. Yeah, baby. That Now that is a beautiful little slime donkey right there. That's a 15-ish pound black drum on my first cast at these little oyster canes. Look at that beautiful fish. All right, send her back. Heavy fish thumped that jig, so, oh. Whew. Strong, quick release. I'm already covered in fish slime, and that is our first real cast of the day. My mind is blown. I guess the rumors are true. Fishing down here can be pretty incredible. That's just my first cast, and I can't even imagine what the rest of this day is gonna be holding. We have so many more of those little canes to fish. Whew. What an incredible fight on this super light tackle setup right here. The reel and rod stood up pretty well against that fish on a tiny little 4-ounce soft plastic. Incredible. So goal for today was to catch some reds, trout, and I mentioned the possibility of catching some black drum, and there we go. There's that possibility. Surreal. So let's get back up on this little oyster flat right here, whatnot, and we'll see what else the Delta has in store for us. What a strong start to the day. All right, and all we were doing was just slow rolling this guy right around this little structure here. I guess it's a pipeline, not really an oyster farm, but I have no idea what all this structure is down here. All right, so no bite since that black drum on our first cast here on the little diesel minnow. I fished quite a bit more of those little PVC posts without any hits, and even fished some really good looking pylons. So we're gonna chop this guy off, and because we're really fishing some really isolated structure, just these small posts with not too much volume to them, we're gonna throw on this little voodoo shrimp here and hopefully slow it down a little bit and really try to work the structure a bit more thoroughly here. So we're gonna toss around this voodoo shrimp here. We've got a clear color with red pepper flakes and then a little chartreuse tail right there. The water is not insanely dirty, but it definitely is a nice dark green color, which is why we're gonna go with the chartreuse to really try to stand out a bit more. So lather that bad boy up with some Procure, and let's just keep on working these posts right here. Just any bit of structure we run into until we eventually get over to the marsh down there and really hone in on fishing the sod banks. There's a fish. Oh yeah, another nice drum on the shrimp. Oh yeah, baby. Oh, no way. That was a hell of a run. Just snapped me off right there on the voodoo shrimp. Probably got my line nicked up on an oyster bed earlier. And well, that's gonna be the result of that. Oh. Some big old black drum out here. Got that sun coming out now. It's about to get real warm, and these fish should get even more fired up. All right, let's retie and get another shrimp in the face of a hungry drum. All right, there we go, retied. Got a little voodoo shrimp on there. Let's see if that drum has some friends still lurking around his hometown. There we go, fish. Oh, yep, first one of those guys of the day. Little speckled trout. That'll be the first fish we're gonna keep today too. Oh yeah, that's a nice one. Woo. Ah, come on in. There we go, baby. All right, now so to keep these guys, the water's pretty chilly still, probably in the 50-60 degree range, so it should be just fine keeping these fish fresh for a while. So we're gonna make ourselves a little homemade stringer here. Just got ourselves this little 50-pound stretch of fluorocarbon here. It's gonna feed the line through his gill plate right there. And our new fishing buddy's just gonna hang around with us here for the rest of the day while we hopefully catch some more of his friends. I miss my cocoa butter kisses. There we go, another trout. Another trout. Oh, active guy. Another trout there on the voodoo shrimp. Just singing some Chance the Rapper out here. Minding my own business. And one of these guys decided to kiss voodoo shrimp. I'm getting bit relatively consistently out here, but they're very, very subtle bites. I don't know if that's because the water temperature is just a little bit colder. The fact it's winter, maybe these fish are just more lethargic, not really in a kill everything mood, but there we go. Another beautiful speck added to the stringer. Here we go. Another trout. This kind of slurp it. That's a baby. Oh, look at this guy. So that might just be, is that a weak fish? Look at that guy, huh? Well, that might just be a new species for me if that's not a weak fish, which I think it is. But when I was doing a little bit of research, I saw there's something down here called a white trout, and that is absolutely what this guy would be, because there are seriously no speckles on him. He doesn't really have the pattern of a weak fish. So we'll send this guy back. First one of those for the day. Little guy. That might also be what's been just very lightly tapping this voodoo shrimp here. Interesting. Third species down here on the Delta for me. I guess you just never know what you're gonna run into down here. So far it's been a pretty decent morning, just bouncing around in the bay right here, hitting some random structure like those PVC poles, pilings, and those bamboo sticks where the fish just tend to congregate. But the second chapter of this morning is to really explore the marshland all back here. So I'm thinking by fishing the marsh, we should have higher chances of running into some redfish, maybe some bigger trout. And there is just so much habitat on these little marsh islands that just interpolate the entire Delta system down here. Here we go, fish. Another speck right there, way out in the middle. Another pretty speck. Thump the Z-Man. Another pretty trout for the stringer. That did not take long to get bit over here by the marsh. Just fishing off this little marsh point, because it seems to be a little bit shallow up right on that grass. It looks like we're at low tide. So that speck was just hanging right off this point here. Thump the Z-Man. And the reason why I'm not measuring every single one of those trout is because you have a 13 to 20 inch slot here in Louisiana, and all of those fish are within that slot. Oh, it's got thump right there. There we go. Another speck. Yeah, buddy. All right, I'll be putting together a quick limit here of trout. Gonna measure this guy though, he might be a little bit big. Oh no, that guy's perfect. 15 inches there. Yeah, another gorgeous Louisiana speckled trout there for the dinner table. These guys have some battle scars on them. Really neat looking fish, and they are gonna be delicious. Another one on the stringer. Our kayak's gonna be a whole lot heavier by the end of the day at this rate. Awesome, man. There's a fish. Oh, better fish. That's a red right there, baby. That's a red. Yep. Right on the marshland, as I had figured. Oh yeah. Beautiful little puppy red right there, baby. Awesome. Awesome. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous fish. Come on here, buddy. Epic. Well, there she is. Not a Louisiana bull, but that is a gorgeous little puppy redfish right there. Let's send this guy back. See you, buddy. Just ran aground on an oyster bed. Doesn't get more Louisiana than that. With that being said, folks, I think this is a perfect time to thank the sponsor of today's video. So unfortunately that clip was out of focus, but just finishing up editing the video now, back home here in Tuscaloosa. And I do want to take a moment in the middle of this video to thank Pisky Fun for sponsoring this video. I'm going to put a link in the description below where you guys can check out these products. Using code Dylan15, you can save 15% off your orders. And as a final installment of this Pisky Fun sponsorship, I am going to be giving away both of these reels, not these exact ones, but both an Illumex and Naughty X, provided by Pisky Fun. And all you have to do is drop a comment below in the comment section. Let me know which reel you'd like, and I'm going to be doing a live drawing on March 1st and giving away one of each of these reels. So huge shout out to Pisky Fun for sponsoring this trip. Now let's get back to Louisiana and get back to focus. There we go, fish on. What was that, a little speck? Micro speckled trout. That is by far the smallest one of the day. All right, see you, buddy. All right, well, that was pretty much instant. Fished that entire creek without anything. Spooked some redfish, some nice ones too, but just not a whole lot of life in there, and it's super, super shallow, so that's a good sign out here in these sticks at the edge of the creek. Maybe we'll run into some more specks to add to the stringer, but the redfish are proving to be pretty difficult to catch so far. There we go, fish on. Got somebody off the island here. Feels like a small red. Maybe a speck. Oh, tiny red. Oh my God. That might just be one of the smallest redfish I've ever caught. Pretty guy, but absolutely micro. Just fishing the backside of these islands here. Took a bit of a pedal to get here, but these islands look way better than what I was fishing earlier. Way deeper, way more structure. Oh, that was a bite right there. And apparently way more fish. So a couple dink reds on the board for us today. Nothing stellar whatsoever, but I'm sure there's some bigger redfish lurking around here somewhere. There's a fish. Stay on. Does not feel huge, but that's a fish. Come on, be a speck maybe. Another little red. Well, not a whole lot of size to these guys right here, but we're definitely catching a couple redfish. This is number 3 on the day. This guy smoked the 4-inch, what is that bait? The 4-inch minnow Z in chartreuse, which I switched out for the bait we were using earlier just because the water's really murky and that sun angle's going down. So I was trying to stand out a little bit more, but there we go. Baby Louisiana redfish. There she goes. Sweet. that marks a full day out on the Louisiana Delta aboard my kayak. What a long, adventurous day and couple days it has been. So just got back to the truck right now after a pretty grueling, like 2-hour pedal back against the wind. I did not realize how far I traveled today, but I traveled a very good 10, 12 mile round trip since I left here at 7 a.m. and now it's closing in on 5 o'clock. Definitely satisfied with how today's fishing excursion went. Literally first cast on one of those PVC piles out there. I hooked a very respectable black drum on that light tackle. And then caught another one shortly after that. I managed to pick up a very decent catch of speckled trout. I think I have 5 or 6 in the cooler. I caught a couple more off camera. Also was able to stumble on some redfish, but that's the one objective I really didn't cross off my bucket list. I was really hoping to catch a nice PB size redfish or a bull redfish, but really I just could not find any. I only found some small cookie cutter sized redfish. That's really what I dedicated most of my day to. I traveled through so many different marshes, made so many casts looking for a big red, and really just came up with a couple redfish, which is why I didn't really capitalize on the speckled trout fishery out there, because I was just trying to get that big redfish. But anyway, that being said, caught plenty of fish today. I had a great time exploring the Big Easy down here on the Mississippi River Delta. What an incredible and incredibly unique place to check out. Got some good food. I still have half a po' boy and some shrimp in here that I'm gonna muck on up while the sun sets before my drive back to Tuscaloosa. So with that being said, folks, just gonna sign off here. If you liked the video, if you guys could hit that like button, subscribe button, that means a ton to me. Really helps grow the channel. Additionally, huge shout out to Pisky Fun for sponsoring this video. I'll put some information on the screen for that giveaway, as well as a link in the description, and post some stuff on Instagram as well. So yeah, great little mission down here. This is probably the avenue that I'm gonna take as far as the next couple of videos on the channel. Go somewhere I've never really been before, try to catch a whole bunch of new fish, give it 2-3 days, maybe even a week in somewhere new. So that's probably gonna be the way I take the channel this winter. But that being said, folks, I'm absolutely tired. I have had nothing to eat. I'm gonna go eat the rest of that po' boy, eat some shrimp, then I got a 5-hour drive back to Bama with an 8 a.m. final. So I'll see you guys then. Till next time, tight lines. You.